I put on my big boy cans today.
Oh, you brought the cans out.
Figured I might as well.
I love cans.
It
I
does
love
sound
cans.
so much better like this.
Yeah, cans are. I mean, they're the way to go in my
Although
opinion,
I did
especially for just like doing a pod or something.
on the recorder for the output of the audio, I had to change it big time because holy shit was the soundboard and things loud.
Hated it.
Oh, really?
Oh my god! Like it hurt Nick's ears before. This would have killed him. Like it was so bad.
This
On the
is the story of a
Pleeka podcast.
I call him Channing Tate.
Yum.
Oh.
But so what did you think about this week's episode of The Last of Us? A little Hessy poo?
It was good. It was good.
Was it not a favorite of yours?
I mean, it's fine. It just not a whole hell of a lot happened there. I mean, until like the very end.
What do you mean? Joel's dead.
Yeah.
So what are your
Like I said, until the end.
what are your thoughts on that? On that Joel's dead,
I mean, I'm kind of
that it ended there looking like Joel's dead. What did you interpret that as?
I mean, I personally I think he's dead, but I mean, obviously I don't know. So
I can give you the answer based on the game if you would like to know.
Yeah. What is that?
So I'll tell you actually what happens in the game, and then I'll explain. So in the game,
will this ruin my gaming experience?
No, because you have to do a lot more than what I would explain. They're in that university and they fight a lot of people, and eventually he falls off the 2-story building and he falls into a thing of rebar and it like goes through his back and him and all the shit, and Ellie has to save him and she takes him out, and then it's about the same. He falls off the horse and all that shit. But that makes a lot more sense that he would survive that in the game because you heal yourself constantly and it's a video game and you do shit. So in the show, they had to change that some, so it's just the baseball bat. But that's...
I mean, they don't have a magic potion, you just go...
yeah. Yeah. No, it doesn't exist.
Well, I still don't even know how that fucking thing got stuck in his side.
The guy stabbed
swung
him.
the bat.
I thought he just had
the bat.
I thought he had a broken handle that he just shanked him with.
I mean, maybe. Because like he swings the bat, he ducks... And then, bat breaks, and then the next, he chokes the guy out. So the only thing I can think of is he had the broken handle in his hand when he was choking him out, and he stabbed him.
Maybe, okay.
But, the adrenaline was just rushing where he didn't feel it, which that would be insane.
The only other thing I could think of with that...
Adrenaline is so pumping, you don't even feel somebody stab you. Which, I don't know. But I'm like, what? I'm like, how? I'm like, how do you not feel that?
It makes me wonder if it was like what you said, but the only other thing I could think of is if he's swinging and as the bat breaks, it just somehow broke and stabbed into Joel. And same swoop,
I don't know.
Which is an incredible hit if that's the case.
Highly confused there for a second. I'm going, what in the... I'm like, how? So I don't know.
So in the game, they continue
if he really is dead.
They continue on there in the game. He falls off. She does. It's almost like word for word the same there. And then that's the part in the game you play as Ellie, and it's like some time passes, and she ends up having him in a house, and she's taking care of him. But then all these raiders, I think they kind of show this in the next on. All these raiders are going after her, and eventually she ends up helping Joel, and he's hurt the rest, but he's good. He doesn't die from that.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, obviously I had no idea. I thought it was going to be her that died. But yeah, I'm just like, what? I'm like, man, because me and Abby were watching it, and I go, he's dead. I go, there's no. It's not like
she texts me, and she's
ambulance
like, me and Hess are arguing about if Joel's dead or not. What's the answer and all this shit.
Yeah.
So then I
don't know what you told her because she never said anything.
No, she's like, I'm not going to tell him. And then
she didn't tell me.
I sent her a TikTok later of the comparison of the game and the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in my head I'm going, it's not like there's an ambulance that's going to be rolling up here in a minute to grab him to take him to the hospital.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. So Ellie's gonna have to do it all. Which I did like that. So, which I didn't get this during the episode. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it said it or what. Did you?
So I mean, they edited it to where he just didn't. He wasn't in the next song at all.
Oh yeah. They make sure you don't see that.
Well,
actually, I mean,
think he's dead.
The next episode it's a flashback episode because it's her and her friend on the day she got bit. So it's that whole experience of when she got infected and all that, or infected,
Yeah. Infected but not infected.
Yeah. But so in the beginning of the episode, did you notice that there was a couple months had passed since the last episode? Did it say something?
It said 3 months.
Oh, okay, because they said it in the podcast, and I was like, oh, I didn't remember seeing that, but okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It popped up and said 3 months later, and I was like, oh, because I even mentioned it to Abby. I go, Jerome said that there's probably gonna be a time jump. I go, he just didn't know how long.
Yeah.
Because I go, they just gonna are we just gonna walk all the way to fucking Wyoming with them?
That'd be a long fucking show. Jesus.
Well, yeah, because that's what I was saying. I'm like, and you're like, there'll be a time jump, but you're like, I don't know how long.
And I think they'll do that again, except it'll be just time passing with we'll get the flashback next week, and while that's going on, she'll be healing Joel and all that probably.
I thought Ellie was hilarious when they were at the people's house or whatever, at like the Native American people, in
the beginning when they were asking for directions to Tommy.
Yeah, and the lady I thought was hilarious, like the woman.
I loved that. I was like, I would just watch a show of this couple in the apocalypse.
The guy's like, you made them soup? She's like, yeah, it's cold out. Oh, it's funny.
No, yeah,
I thought it was funny.
They're so good in this show at just creating little side characters that you're like, oh, well, where's this show? Let me watch this show.
I know.
This is so great.
I do. Their side characters have been dope. And then I saw some stuff online. Obviously, I don't know, but I guess they supposedly sneak peek 2 characters upcoming, Dina and Ratatouille or something.
I didn't see the other guy that they supposedly teased, but Dina, the girl when Ellie's like, what about her manners and all that? That girl, she's a pretty big part of the second game, and she's not in the first game, so it's kind of cool that they're teasing them in here.
Yeah, because I saw it on Reddit, and I go, I don't know anything about it. I didn't look into it. I didn't read comments. I was just like, oh, okay. I figure people know what they're talking about.
Yeah, that'll be really, really interesting. I'm really curious on just the little, because there's so much things that they could tease. Because there's a lot of the second game's flashbacks.
Oh, okay.
So I even wondered if some of those scenes would be in season 1, but now that it seems like they're going to split it into multiple seasons for the second game, it just seems like we're not going to have those flashbacks and we're just going to see those going. But
which is fine.
Yeah, I'm really curious on all that stuff, how they're going to do it. But it also blew my mind how I told you that they mentioned that they've been working on this. Oh, hold on, they got a text. They've been working on the show since before the second game came out, which is so crazy.
That is pretty wild.
I have been hearing rumors, and I didn't know if it was true or not, that Maisie Williams was originally supposed to be Ellie, but then it took so long to make the show that she got too old that they're like, no one's going to believe you're a 14-year-old girl anymore. But I guess maybe if them working on this game that long, or this show that long ago, maybe it really was supposed to be Maisie Williams.
I don't even know who that is. What is she in?
That's Arya Stark from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. I get it. Yeah, I don't know actors and actresses by names typically, unless they're big super mega stars. So
it is funny though. You can't remember actors and actresses' names, but somehow because I'm terrible with names on shows, but somehow you pick up on everybody's name, even little background characters. Sometimes you'd be like, oh yeah, that was Jonathan in the background. You guys notice that?
I try. Well, I try. I mean, I try to pay attention because I don't want to sound like a dumb shit. So
no, I get that.
That's
also why I
don't want to be like that black character. I can't remember his name, or you know what I mean. You're like, what?
In my solo videos that I talk very vague and some stuff like that, so then I can edit in stuff, so then it looks like I know what I'm talking about, but I might not know the names or whatever.
Well, yeah, totally. And I mean, if you're watching multiple shows and everything, it's a lot. So.
Yeah, totally. But let me think. So what? I mean, I guess you're right. Not a whole lot did happen this episode.
I mean, they get to Wyoming.
It was just a very emotional episode for everybody.
I mean, yeah. It was not as emotional as the last episode for me.
It was emotional for the people in the show, not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got you. But I mean, the commune in Wyoming, this seems like a pretty dope setup they got going there. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Did you see the mentally challenged kid when they were in the movie theater?
Oh,
he was at the very front. Yeah. He was so I don't know. I mean, I was just like, oh, I guess. I mean, you can still have mentally handicapped children.
I guess that's true.
In a zombie-filled world or an infected world. I saw a thing where they said they weren't allowed to say zombie on set.
Yeah,
because
they're
shit.
infected.
Like yeah.
Which is all like, I mean, come on, like I get it, but like,
no, yeah. It's one of those things where it's like I get it, but also at the same time, it's like seems a little silly, but okay, whatever you say.
If it's gonna hurt your feelings that we call zombies, then sure, we'll just say infected. Jesus.
Well, I mean, I think they're just, but I mean, is this put together better than other zombie shows?
Yeah, I mean, this is already 10 times better than The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
any of and I mean,
I enjoyed
like 47 of them.
I enjoyed the first few seasons of that show.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first couple seasons, and then I forget what it's called. There was like Walking Dead Origins or something they did, or as part of one of the seasons. But they did a flashback episode to Negan, like before the zombie. Like, it was like I can't remember if it was before, but it was like during stuff zombies was going on. It was like early days of him and his wife and all that. And that was such a great story. And then I didn't watch any other part of that season.
Yeah, I think I quit it before that dude came around.
Oh, you never saw him? So you didn't get to see Glenn get his head bashed in and all that?
No, I didn't get that far. No.
It was, I think Glenn
and
Eugene
it's just,
on there.
You know, we've talked about it before. Very repetitive, just like Dexter. Yeah. I enjoyed Dexter.
Speaking of Dexter, are you excited for the Dexter spinoffs that are coming out? I
had no idea about them.
Did you watch Dexter New Blood, first of all?
No. You told me that it was not good.
Well, okay. Do you mind if I spoil the ending for that a little bit?
I mean, I don't care. I doubt I will ever watch it.
So the ending of Dexter New Blood is his son. Well, throughout the show, you meet Harrison again, and Harrison's older. You find out he killed the nanny, or the girl that was watching him, the Russian chick or whatever.
Okay.
And by the end of the show, he ends up killing Dexter. Dexter lets him kill him, and that's how the show ends. Is that Harrison kills Dexter? So what they're gonna do now is they're doing a spin-off of Harrison, or that might even be Dexter New Blood season 2. They're not sure. They're doing a prequel to Dexter, like a Dexter origin story, and then they're gonna do a Trinity Killer prequel as well. So you're getting 3 Dexter shows now.
I mean, do they realize that? Oh, not a lot of people liked the new season.
Who the fuck cares at this point?
You know, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. Like I said, I thought Dexter was cool. I watched them all. Obviously, didn't enjoy the ending very much.
Yeah, neither of the endings.
You know what I mean? Great. But it's the same thing. It's just a different person he's going after in every season. Yeah, it's legitimately the same thing. You know, that's just my opinion.
I mean, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like the CW shows, like Flash and Arrow and all those. It's the same
that's why
formula.
I'm not saying that like network TV can't make good shows, but in my opinion, they will never live up to like an HBO or like a Showtime or
100%.
Just be, you know, I mean, like you say, Prison Break, that was a Fox show.
Yeah,
that was on network. Obviously, I don't know, but I mean, I couldn't imagine that holding a match to like any show. Let me
compare. So, I honestly.
So, like, what, like, Prison Break going up against Breaking Bad?
Oh, hands down, Breaking Bad.
The Wire.
For me,
yeah.
Prison Break. It's gotta be Prison Break.
Yeah, that's insanity. But okay,
I would say not all of Prison Break. That's where it gets rough.
Right.
Is that like there's like 3 or 4 seasons of Prison Break where it's like, who gives a fuck? This is kind of silly. But there's some that are really good that I really like. It's funny you bring it up too. I just started rewatching Prison Break 2 the other night.
This guy, you're like, what am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna watch Prison Break again.
Seriously losing it, bro.
I don't know.
This guy. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Prison Break. I've already watched it a few times. I'm gonna watch it again.
I do get what you're saying though. Like, if I would much rather have a show be an HBO show or a streaming show, something like that, than it to be on a Fox or a CW or something like that.
Well, just because they can do more with it. You know what I mean?
And it just the right people are making more care into it as well.
Yeah, it can be better. So, because I mean, you know, I don't know. A lot of the network shows, I don't watch them. I mean, maybe that's me being closed-minded. I don't know.
Bitch.
I'm just saying, you know, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. but it's just not for me. Like I'm not into it.
You know what I think we should do to see if you really are closed-minded or not?
Oh, here we go.
Is I think we should watch an animated movie on here at some point.
Okay.
Not necessarily the next thing we do, but at some point we should pick an animated movie for you to do.
I would be fine with watching like an animated movie. I don't want to watch like an animated series or anything like that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, I'll watch an animated movie, but I don't want to. It can't be like a little kids movie or something like that.
I was actually gonna say, do you like Wes Anderson? Because he has a couple animated movies that are pretty great, and it's got like Bill Murray.
Who's Wes Anderson? Is that?
Oh my God, okay, that's a whole other story. He's a big director, but he's got like Bill Murray, and he's got a lot of like really big name people in it.
Okay.
I can't think of his fucking name right now. Here, let me look up the movie I want to watch, and I'll tell you who's in it.
Okay.
Have you heard of Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Vaguely rings a bell. Maybe if I saw a picture.
It's got George Clooney, Bill Murray, Meryl Streep, Owen Wilson, Willem Dafoe. It's got all them, but it is about animated like animals. But
I've definitely seen the movie.
That and Isle of Dogs are like some of my favorite animated movies. Right? I mean, obviously there's some other great ones, but I love Wes Anderson movies, so those are like in my tops.
Okay, yeah, like I said, I have no problem. Like, it's just like, you know, I'm not going to go out of my way to just sit down and to watch like an animated movie. And maybe I'm missing out, but like that's just not my interest. That's just not in my interest. It's not like me, like it's just like you, like on, you know, in the middle of summer on a Tuesday night, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch baseball. Doesn't matter what else is going on. Doesn't matter if I sit down before the game starts or if I pick it up in the 6th or 7th inning. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch baseball. You would never do that.
Yeah, no,
right? Because you just have no interest.
Yeah,
you just have no interest. So should I say that you're closed-minded?
No,
I mean I'm just saying.
Hostile,
I know you didn't say it, but that's just where I'm coming from.
No, yeah, and
it's just not interesting to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, that's why I keep hitting on it because it's stupidity in my eyes.
I get that 100% too. I don't understand how people don't see that. How like you can just see someone's opinion and be like, oh, they're just not interested in that. But instead, I'm gonna be hey, you're a little fucking idiot.
And without going off on a tangent, that's the problem. That's a problem with the world nowadays.
Yeah,
is that people don't think, and people see something, and they're like, oh yeah, they just like make a quick decision on what they saw, not knowing the full context, not knowing background, not knowing anything about the person. They just see it and they're like, yep, that guy's a fucking closed-minded loser. When in reality, they have no idea who that person is. When in
reality, his mom is writing House of the Dragon, so like he's pretty cool. Okay. Fucking bitch.
Fuck you.
Did you meet my brother at the wedding or no?
I think so. I believe so.
He likes anime. He's big into anime and shit.
So he's not as close-minded as you.
No, he's not. He's definitely more open-minded.
That's funny.
Good times.
Before we end up running out of time, what did you think of Tommy and Maria when we got to Jackson?
She gives me like the.
I know we have some weirdness
like
with her
vibes.
Because she's Tara from True Blood, and she was fucking weird in that. But I
think
liked her in the
those
game.
Vibes kind of carried over to me in the show. She seems kind of bitchy. She seems kind of. I mean, I know that she's pregnant or whatever, and I don't know. I'm kind of interested. I was literally about to ask if she. I mean, I'm assuming she plays a prominent role in the show.
In the game, she's a pretty big part. She's like in a little part of the first game, and then she's in quite a bit of the second game. In like little bits, it kind of varies around with her. But they did change her a little bit, which I did like. Kind of like how Joel and a couple of them, like they switched their races and all that. She was white in the game. So I thought that was cool that like they just like I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh yeah, they changed that. That's kind of neat. They switched that up and it like didn't even make a big deal.
You're like, hey, that can't be her.
Well, it's funny because she was talking. Like, it just took me a minute, and then they called her Maria, and I was like, oh yeah, right, she's her. Like I was expecting her just to be a different character, like a whole new one for the show, and I was like, oh wow, okay,
right. It is weird whenever like a show or a movie like casts someone who was in like another big show and or movie, and they played like a different role or something, and you're like, God, like with that Kathleen, like you said, you
like Two and a Half Men. I just see your Two and a Half Men.
Yeah. It's just funny how our mind associates.
I'm just
stuff
every
like
time
that,
I see her, I'm just gonna see her fucking going, "Mama, are you on drugs or something?" with her and yelling at her mom.
It's my father-in-law. He doesn't like Bradley Cooper because he hated him in Wedding Crashers, and he's like, I hate him. He's like, I hated that role.
Has he seen Guardians of the Galaxy? Because you could kind of trick him if he's like, "Hey, you like that raccoon?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, it's Bradley Cooper."
I'm pretty sure he had, because he watches all that shit.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure he's seen it, but he just doesn't like Bradley Cooper because of Wedding Crashers.
That's funny.
And I'm like, but that means he did a good job acting. He like tricked you into
that's
not liking
that's
him.
such a hard part with that. When actors are so good at playing a part that you're like, fuck you, and then you're even like, fuck you in the other roles.
I know.
That happened a lot. Who was that on? Who's like the bitch mom in fuck, what was it called? There's 2 seasons of it on HBO. They killed Alexander Skarsgård in the first season by pushing him down the stairs.
Big
Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
Who is like the bitchy mom? His mom that showed up in season 2. Do you remember the actress? I know we just said earlier you don't remember actresses.
I can't. It was the blonde. It was the blonde lady, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. It was Meryl Streep. That's what it was. She was so good at being a fucking bitch in that show. I mean, she's a bitch in a lot of things like that, but she's so good at being a bitch that I'm just like,
D Wears P.
I don't even want to fucking look at you.
Yeah, like, D Wears P. She was great in D Wears P.
Yeah, bitch. All right, hold on. I gotta let Aria out. She's freaking out.
Gotta let the dog. Gotta let her out.
She tried to grab her ball on the way out, and she knocked my light over almost. It was wiggling around.
Oh, boy. That's never a good thing.
Fucking rat over here.
That's never a good thing.
But so did you have any things in the episode that stood out to you that you enjoyed from this episode? Did you like seeing Tommy and Joel reunite?
Yeah, I mean, that was fine. It always is weird when siblings are used to, I mean, you know, like obviously 20 years ago when Tommy and Joel were younger and this whole shit started, like Tommy wasn't with anybody, Joel wasn't with anybody. So, I mean, you kind of get used to your brother or even anyone for that matter without being with someone. And then, like, obviously if they find a significant other or partner or get married, like obviously their behavior is going to change. Typically does. So I mean that's always like a weird dynamic. It's always like, well, like fuck, this is how I remember you. Like this is, you know what I mean? So but I did like that dynamic that Ellie was like pissed at Joel because he was like, I'm not coming. Like
he
like,
just wanted to abandon her. And shit.
Yeah. Well, which I understand though, because I mean, technically.
Well, you brought that up last week. You're like, you thought that he was gonna end up failing again and get Ellie killed.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and then he brought it up to his brother and was like, I think I might fail and get her killed.
I'm assuming he's not dead because I've been on Reddit. I haven't seen anything about him being like dead, so I'm guessing he's not dead. Which, like I said, I obviously don't know, but yeah, I really like when. You know, when he was like saddling up the horse at the towards the end there, he's like, I feel like you deserve a choice. And she's like, yeah.
Before I even finish,
let's go. And she's like, yeah. So I thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed that dynamic of it. But I mean, at this point, I mean, I might just be like, we're staying here. You know what I mean?
I mean, kind of, yeah. Or at least stay here, get some like ideas flowing, get a plan,
or just like stay there for a little while. Like, I mean, eat some nice meals, take hot showers, like, you know, do some fun stuff, like watch a movie or just sleep in a bed where you know you're not gonna, where you have to stay on guard 24/7, even though Joel falls asleep.
Yeah, even though you're just gonna fall asleep and she's gonna end up being on guard.
It's like, you know, it's like, fuck, just hang out for a little bit, you know, like
I mean, it'd probably be good for him for how much he was like stressing about panic attacks all episode because of her, because he's just afraid he's gonna get her killed. Yeah,
which, like I said, I get, and then I did like the dynamic of he thought like he saw his daughter. Obviously, it wasn't her, but like he saw the hair from behind, and it was like, oh shit, like, and then in my head, it was like, oh fuck, like my daughter would be old enough to I could have a granddaughter. You know what I mean? So I thought that was kind of cool to show.
It was cool, and then that moment led to him going and telling his brother that Ellie is infected and that she didn't change though, and all that, and he told him the truth.
Right.
Do you think? Because Abby said she didn't think that was a good idea. She texted me that. Did you think anything of that, or did you think that was fine?
So what?
That she told Tommy that Ellie was infected.
I think it. Well, originally I thought it was going to backfire. I thought he was going to like immediately go and tell,
and be
he
like, goes and gets the fucking dog again, and he's like, "Eat that motherfucker."
Well, yeah, because like that was kind of stressful because I'm going, fuck. I'm like, she tests positive when they do the thing on the neck,
and instead the dog just wanted some cuddles.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I kind of assumed she wouldn't die this early. If she does die, I couldn't imagine them having this big plot point where we have to get her to
and then episode
Colorado
6 they kill her.
The Fireflies, and then fucking episode 6, but it's HBO, so I mean, they killed Ned Stark in episode 1. True. So
no, wasn't it
spoilers?
Wasn't it like it was like episode? Wasn't it like 9 or 8 or something like that?
It was early. That's all I know. It was early. So spoilers if you haven't watched Game of Thrones and you're going to watch, don't get attached to Ned Stark. Okay? Oh, goodness gracious.
Let me see. Was there anything else that we didn't touch on this episode?
I wonder, they took all their weapons and everything. They just keep them
they said that, but then he had his like revolver or whatever, and then Ellie had her gun too when they went on campus, and then he just so it was like she just took his rifle or something.
But Tommy gave her a gun. He was like, I was able to get you a little gun.
Oh, okay.
And then Joel took Tommy's rifle that he had when he was getting ready to leave.
But he had his revolver at the campus too. That's what really confused me. I was like, so you just got every kind of gun you had back? I mean, that's kind of how the game works too. Is there's just like 4 kinds of guns that you get, and that's it.
Well, it's a game. That's understandable. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's little, it's minuscule. I don't care. I just it was just like, I want, like, if they're just like, they have a an ammo spot in the middle of town, or you know what I mean, that has guns that you can rent, or I don't know why you'd need them.
I did like that too, though. In that part, his wording was like, "Can I borrow this?" Blah blah blah, and then he even said like, "There's a spot home for you," and he's like, "I'm counting on it," and all that. I like that. That he's like, "I want to return to you."
No, yeah, absolutely. And then I thought it was weird with the period cup. Like, I don't know. I was like, why do we have to put that in there?
I think that's in there because they never touch on periods in any kind of apocalypse show or anything like that. So like, they're just like, what, like that's gonna happen. That would be a thing that people would have to worry about.
I gotcha.
So that's enough for that.
She found the tampons at the gas station a few episodes ago.
You can't just use 1 or 2 tampons.
Well, I know, but I mean, she found some. So I mean, so it was like, they touched on it there, and then it was like, well, fuck, I guess, like, okay, like. So yeah,
it makes sense.
It's all good.
It will be weird if they just continue doing that, because it's not like you need to be like, oh, here's some toilet paper, oh, here's this every single time. Like at this point, we should just assume that they have the they can
what
make
they
those,
need, or they're just dealing with it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I assume in the apocalypse that's just it's kind of free flow.
Yeah,
you probably
what are you
probably
do?
stink anyways. No one's probably wiping all that well. Everyone probably smells like poo poo. And a little bit of whiz on them.
Yum.
I bet
cheese whiz.
Yeah, I bet you there's not a good smelling person in The Last of Us.
I know.
There can't be. I guess maybe Bill and Frank are probably the best smelling ones. And
at the commune,
I guess they have showers.
Yeah.
But even then, they probably.
But if you run into people just out, in the real world, or in the open world, they
real people.
Reek.
You don't want to be out there.
Yeah. No, yeah. Exactly. Can't be doing that. No. Can't be doing that.
Have you watched any more Harry Potter movies?
No, I haven't watched any more.
I haven't watched any more. Damn.
No, I'll get there. It's been busy. So.
I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania on.
Friday. How was that?
I really liked it. I know everyone on the internet seems to think it's like a piece of shit garbage movie. I know it looks just like Spy Kids 3D and shit, the parts, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty fun. I know a lot of the Marvel stuff lately has been kind of shitty, honestly,
I saw that. I saw a
but
bunch of
I really
people
liked
just saying that it's just cash grabs at this point. They're not even trying.
I thought this one was good, but I think they should have delayed this one and worked on the special effects and editing a little bit longer because it definitely needed some work. But like in parts, it almost felt like you were watching a movie early, kinda.
Okay.
But
so it's like Warzone.
Yeah, it's like playing Warzone. Actually, it's early. And nothing really works right.
I feel like we
it
should
looks
have
okay.
This.
That's a good comparison. And Marvel right now is like Warzone,
which is weird because I mean they're a huge company. It's like
I think it's all. I think COVID really fucked up their plans and everything. And I think that then after that, they started being really shitty to all the visual effects companies. So now no one wants to work with them because they don't pay. They make them work like really late hours and shit. So I think they kind of fucked themselves a little bit.
So it sounds like Marvel's gonna have a new head soon. They're probably gonna have to.
I don't know. Well, the rumor out there is the head of Marvel, Kevin Feige, the guy who's been in charge of it so far, is gonna end up being the guy in charge of Disney, or at least that's what he wants, is to be in charge of that, so he can be in control of Marvel and Star Wars and everything. Which I mean, who knows? I mean, he's done Marvel for a while, but I mean, who knows if he could do all that?
Yeah, who knows? That seems like a lot.
Any last things? That we have 5 minutes before we have to wrap up.
Wow, we have 5 minutes. That's crazy. I would have not guessed we had 5 whole minutes left. I feel like we've been talking for a while, but that's
we've been talking for about 35 minutes.
Oh, it's more than 30 then?
Yeah, for some reason now it's 35, 40-ish minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it changed.
Not a problem. No, no, I don't think so. Trying to think.
What do you watch the next one, right? I mean, you said they cut out Angel Ball. But
yeah.
Are you excited to see Ellie and her friend and they're going around and what their little adventure is going to be?
Sure, yeah.
I think
it looks super cyberpunky.
I can kind of see that. When they're at the mall and they turn on all the lights and shit. Yeah, it should be a really fun episode. I'm like, oh. It's actually from DLC from the game that came out for the first one.
The flashback. This will be the next episode.
I don't know if it'll entirely be a flashback, but from the trailer, it looks like it will be for the most part.
Okay, I gotcha. Oh, and I did think it was interesting that she wants to be an astronaut.
Oh, good thing you brought that up. That is a big part of flashbacks in the second game, so it was really cool that they brought that in here. Because there's a really cool scene with some shit like that in the second game.
Look at Hess bringing value to the pod,
Fucking bringing up something that I completely forgot about. They even mentioned that on their podcast that they brought in her Ellie
I thought that was
space
cool.
And all that because the girl who voices her in the video game, I guess, was really into that. And then the reason that Joel likes to sing is because the guy who voices him in the game started with guitar and singing and all that.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of have a lot of themselves in there.
Yeah. That is cool. Yeah, I thought that was cool. I mean, just any little thing like that where you get a little more background of the person, I find cool. Mm-hmm. It just deepens the character and you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. And then the song at the end when Joel's in the snow and Ellie's there holding him and all that. That the girl singing is the creator of the show, not the creator of the game, but the guy who's doing the show with him. His daughter, his 19-year-old daughter.
Oh.
He wanted it's a cover of a certain song, and he wanted it a specific way, and he knew his daughter could do it, so he just asked her, and I guess she was kind of lazy and forgetting, and he's like, "Honey, I want to put your show or your song on a TV show. Can you please get this done?" And then he did that, and she was like, and then she fucking blew me away with the song.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, that's wild. That's a 19-year-old girl singing that, and then now it's just on one of the biggest shows around right now.
So that works, man. You got to know people.
And then what's funny is,
happen.
Of course, because that's just how the world works now, is I listen to that podcast, and then I go on TikTok, and I see the girl on TikTok, and she's like, "This is my song."
There you go. I would have no idea. I might have seen her, but if I did, I was like, I don't know who this bitch is.
Well, I didn't recognize her, but I was just like, oh, I just heard about you on a podcast, I guess.
Yeah, you're like, interesting you came up. It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but... small world, they say.
Did you see that I was putting out some clips in shorts yesterday? I did some clips on the Pleeka podcast clips channel.
Yeah, I saw some.
When I was getting footage for the Cyberpunk one, I was seeing so much creative footage, of people creating their characters of all their dicks and all that I was looking, and I was like, so it really is just not there in the part of the game that I was at, because these settings here just weren't there.
right before I was you texted me, someone commented and said it's still in the game. So
oh, what the fuck?
Yeah,
So
I
it
don't
is
know.
in the game?
I saw someone commented and it said it's still in the game. So I don't know.
Well,
Maybe, like I said, I think you might have a setting of like maturity off or something like that.
I'm wondering
if
it comes dickless and you gotta
just because there's probably parents that don't know anything about it and they're like, oh yeah, that's fine for my 8-year-old to play this game or whatever.
Next thing you know, your 8-year-old's making himself have a huge cock.
There you go. So I wouldn't doubt it. Like I said, who knows? But I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay.
So look into that.
Do you have any parting words to say to the people watching the Pleeka podcast?
Parting words with no context, no background. Just tip your delivery drivers, ladies and gentlemen. Do the right thing. Yeah, tip your delivery drivers. Y'all have a great night.
Gee, I wonder why he's saying that.
Yeah, I don't know. Just saying. Just do your thing. Do your thing.
No, yeah, tips do a lot. Like I've been working, like the
escape
room and all that.
Yeah. How's that coming?
I'm actually kind of having quite a bit of fun there doing it, but I'm getting so many fucking tips there. It's
good.
One fucking dude gave me $50 tip while I was there.
That's awesome. Did you do anything to him, or?
Well, I mean, I took him into the bathroom. But it's funny. Like
awesome.
Even people that I don't even work with. Apparently, there's like a rumor there about like, oh, Jerome gets a lot of tips here, and like people like, what the fuck when Jerome's there? Everyone, because like we all share the tips, so they're like, oh, I want to work with that because like we'll all get them.
Oh, so you have to share with whoever's working that night?
Yeah, which is a little bit like, what? I mean, come on, but whatever.
That's a little gingery-ish.
Yeah, but
hey, I was gonna say something else.
No,
but,
I got a feeling I know what you're gonna say. Oh shit! Okay, this is about to turn off.
So, all right,
thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe. We'll catch you guys next week.
Tip your delivery drivers.
Yeah, bitch.